Hai cu mine la AI Expo Europe să-ți arăt câteva momente din culisele celui mai mare eveniment dedicat inteligenței artificiale din Europa de Est. Aici așteptam să-mi ridic badge-ul de acces pentru cele 2 zile de conferință desfășurate la Hotel Radisson Blu din București. Ca la orice eveniment tech, la intrare te întâmpină standuri interactive și zone de networking pline de oameni pasionați de tehnologie, inovație și viitor. Și da, mi-am făcut chiar și un prieten nou, destul de simpatic, nu? Și dacă tot vorbim despre roboți, hai să-ți arăt o prezentare unde pe scenă a urcat un alt robot. A atras toate privirile, la fel ca și subiectul sesiunii, AI Agents, un concept tot mai folosit și important în prezent. Urmărește câteva momente din prezentare.
Instead of telling them exactly what to do step by step, you just give them a command and say something like, you give them a goal. So you could say, I need you to check my mail and send out order inventory. And that's all you tell them. And the agent knows well enough to not only check your mail, to read that mail, to look through it, see if there's order inventory or requirements in it, and then go ahead and deliver that order inventory. At this point, what you've done is you've taken it from automation, you've taken it from anything standard that you've done, and you've now actually built an agent that was able to intelligently read your mail, make a decision, act on that decision, and respond without human intervention.
On top of the AI agent discussion, the fact that sometimes we can build AI workflows. Now, a lot of people don't think about AI workflows as being the future of automation, but actually what happens is that AI workflows right now, from companies like NA10 and Make.com, these AI workflows account for the majority of automation. Why? Because you don't want to ask nicely from the robots to perform some task, and you want to have repetitive and robust automation, in which case you don't want it to be at the whim of an AI agent, an LLM, with some tools that does some very special, interesting things. So please don't just think about AI agents per se, but also think about AI workflows. And sometimes, very interestingly, workflows can be tools for these automations, for these AI agents, right? So use cases. If you have big teams in your companies that do things digitally in front of a computer, databases, Excels, data clerks, all sorts of these kinds of teams in your company, consider automating and optimizing their work with an AI agent. Of course, customer service is the clearest known path right now that you can have if you want an AI agent, but you can also automate stuff in accountability, like deconto. Or you can also automate stuff in renewable energy, like if you want to monitor assets in renewable energy and then get alarms and then maybe create a report automatically. You can have a workflow that does that, and at the end of the AI workflow, you can have an agent to talk to about that workflow. Very interestingly, the agents are a conversational tool, right? You want to talk to them. So it's like a single player conversational thing that you're doing. If you want to go multiplayer, if you want to have your team interact with some sort of platform and do some sort of automation, that's probably not one AI agent. It probably is some sort of platform with some sort of automation around it, and then maybe these guys talk to some agent, but it doesn't mean that the agent is doing all the heavy lifting, okay?
Roboții, automatizarea, agenții AI, toate acestea vor deveni parte din viața noastră mai repede decât credem. Important este să înțelegem cum le putem folosi în avantajul nostru. Pentru că vreau să rămâi cu ceva valoros din acest video, am selectat pentru tine câteva momente din prezentarea Microsoft.
Tools are what? They can search the web and call a lot of APIs. So that is what an agent is one of the definitions that I like. Agents are getting more and more capable. This was an analysis, this was a report from last year November, where they actually said on a percentage of task completion rate, if humans are between, the pink one is humans, 70 and 80%, the far right, agents are already between 60 and 70. Pretty cool, right? And that's from last year. A lot has changed since then. So this was employee onboarding. So let's take a simple example. This is an example I've implemented at quite a few companies now. Employee onboarding says, what happens? When you start at a company, you get a welcome email saying, hello and welcome, we need these 4 documents from you. Maybe 5 documents if there's a specific process. You know, the process is very similar. What would we change? We replace the manager, for instance. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yes, we do. So we actually take out the HR agent. I'm not taking out HRs. I will not be popular at all. Take out the IT agent or the IT manager, the task actually, and the training agent. We create 3 agents instead of 3 people who are actually doing this task. We remove the mundanes of this task. It's a very repetitive task. And the new hire still has the same experience. So this is how, whether we take it as KYC in banks, or we take it as, in retail segment, or we take it on an onboarding. Just imagine the amount of repetitive things. So in your companies, in your organizations, such a process can actually be implemented. A frontier firm is one, because the first thing what do you want to do in your firm? You want to augment or improve productivity. And how do you improve productivity? By giving the right tools to the people so they can do their job faster. GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is one of our most popular products. It says it augments productivity. A lot of organizations have implemented it. But I want to show you a couple of things. It is adopted by 77,000 organizations. Like literally every organization I speak to, they're probably implementing or in the process of implementing GitHub Copilot. The important thing is to say, do we have ROI numbers to show it's actually improving something? So this is actually a quote from Thomson Reuters where they talked about 46% faster task completion, 39% improvement in code quality, and 45% changes are launched faster. You will see actually in GitHub Copilot we've given out metrics where you can actually see how fast your developers are developing, resulting in reduction in backlog, allowing you to work on tasks which you did not even think you could achieve. And that is the interesting part of it. But then, bringing live to you from GitHub Universe. So it was only on 28-29 October, they showed this at GitHub Universe. So we have launched something called agent code. So earlier what was done was, you could write code. You must have heard of the white coding. If I have an idea, I will code it. Sure. And now what we launched is something called agent code. So here in white coding, you have to copy paste or do something. Now agent mode says to describe the task, it will do it for you. And that we launched 3 months ago, agent mode. But then we said, what happened is, you must have heard a lot of things, that it started to do something or override databases or do something which was not quite correct. Then we said, what is it that humans do? We don't say, go do and it starts doing. We plan, think, plan and act. 3 stages. So what do we want the agent to do? So for example, if I give you a task, what do? You first think, then you make a plan, then you find out if your plan is good. If it's good enough, you go to the implementation. And that is what we launched in GitHub Copilot.
În pauze, bineînțeles, mi-am scos laptopul și am mai scris câteva linii de cod, pentru că, de ce nu? Și știu că toți ne întrebăm ce se va întâmpla cu joburile noastre și ce abilități vor fi căutate în viitor. Așa că ți-am pregătit și un scurt fragment din prezentarea celor de la LinkedIn.
Companies have increased the number of jobs mentioning AI on the platform. It has increased by a factor of 21. But then on the supply side, as professionals, we see a lot of excitement globally. People want to develop these skills. They know that it's not a nice to have, but it's a necessity today to develop AI skills. And the number of people who have mentioned AI skills on their profile has increased by a factor of 140. So that tells you how much excitement is happening globally. And I think every company now is seeing that. More than 70% of the employees are already using AI to improve the way they work and the way they deliver results. Now, let's focus a bit on Europe. We have launched recently the LinkedIn AI index for talent, and that specifically looks at the concentration of AI talent globally. And today I'm excited to say that Europe is based in the top 20 countries. So we have more than 10 countries in the top 20 globally who have a high concentration of the AI talents. Now let me walk you through what we mean by the AI talents index. So first we look at the the proportion of professionals who have at least 2 AI skills on their profile, and we divide that by the working population, and of course we adjust it by the proportion of the population that has an internet profile. So there's a lot of adjustments there to make sure we are capturing the right index. Now I want to walk you through. Let's start diving into the skills part. So when we talk about AI skills, we have 2 main categories. We do have first AI engineering skills, and these are the very technical skills. We're thinking about all the professionals who are building, running, maintaining the AI systems, and that includes deep learning, generative AI, natural language processing, machine learning. And then we have the AI literacy. And the AI literacy is the competency that helps you use AI agents and that helps you use AI at work or on personal level. And that includes using solutions like Copilot, Gemini, and other agents in the market. Now, we also released recently some of the trends when it comes to both categories of the skills. First of all, companies are actively looking for AI engineers, AI consultants, those professionals who know how to build AI systems, and the hiring rates have increased by over 25% year-over-year. Now, on the AI literacy parts, which I think can relate to all of us, so knowing how to use the agents has been the fastest growing skill in 2025. So I'm glad that we are all here in this room, learning about all the agentic solutions that have been launched by all the global players, because that's the key skill to live up today. Now, as you're thinking about how organizations are thinking about reskilling, upskilling their employees, we have developed at LinkedIn what we call the AI Sprint framework. But I want you to think about it as a way for you to assess where you stand on the AI skill map globally, or where you want to be, where you envision yourself. So the good news is you will not be all at the top of the pyramid. The very technically specialized folks who will be building the AI systems. But as you can see, it's a pyramid. So at the bottom, there is a foundation layer where we will all have to develop what we call AI literacy, which is understanding all the generative AI solutions, understanding what we mean by responsible AI, what are the right ways, of course, to implement these systems for organizations, and then we will move slowly to applying. And that's where you will be using a lot of Copilot and all the chatbots that can help you, of course, improve sales, HR functions, or any other.
Ce ți-am arătat azi e doar o mică parte din AI Expo Europe, dar sper că ți-au fost utile toate informațiile. Dacă vrei să afli mai multe despre programare, AI și viitorul tehnologiei, te invit să mă urmărești și pe Instagram, TechGirlStory, unde postez mai des. Mă bucur că am făcut parte din această ediție a evenimentului AI Expo Europe și te încurajez să participi și tu la evenimentele tech. Sunt cea mai bună ocazie de a cunoaște oameni, idei și perspective noi într-o lume care evoluează continuu. Pe curând!